somewhat relatively quiet start to the day in the markets has led to very few gaps emerging, as I saw somebody who I respect on YouTube chatting about earlier on this morning in his own pre-market show. And we're back here, and I had the opportunity to watch some of that today for the first time in months due to the discrepancy between the UK and USA clock change. We change on the last weekend of October, whereas you guys over in the States change your clocks on the first weekend of November. So there we have it, and we are in a new month. Wow, 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 and that is right, Monday, the 1st of November, lead into this curious circumstances where we have different clocks. Interesting stuff. It's nice to be back again. My name's Rocky Outcrop, and we do financial news here every morning. Financial news, is that really accurate? Well, I suppose the news is always baked into the charts, so you can't get away from it. And we also do FOMO-free education, getting everybody in the right mindset. Whoa, ho, ho. Hopefully everything's working here nicely in the stream. You can see up there 10 a.m. How tardy. How tardy. It's nice to be back, ladies and gents. It's nice to be back. Getting a big old let's go from Christy. Yes, happy morning, folks. Happy November, as that was so eloquently put by Ashley earlier on. That's right. Happy November, everyone, one and all. And if I can just sort my screen out a little bit here, I'll be able to get, as you can see, woo, is that coming on? It's not coming on actually at the minute. You can't see. I'm trying to get this thing to line up so that I've got it more visible for chat messing aroundings. Well, doesn't look like that's happening, so I'll just leave that until tomorrow's stream or until we have a break later on. Welcome to November, everyone, one and all. Good to see you, Corey. Yes, welcome to November. Yeah, EVGO is killing it. Excellent, excellent. We'll see that. EVGO ripping. Yeah, excellent. Nice one. Lol, today's trading hours between 1 hour earlier stop me to YOLO everything at open again. Ho, ho, ho. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Shall we take a look at some charts together? See how that's getting on? Yeah, let's do it. Give me your like buttons, people. Give me a like. Give me a wee like. Go on, give me a wee like. Here I am in the darkness over here. Like up my life. Send me some like. Like up all the corners over here. Okay, liked up, nice and bright over here. Do you want to see something magical? I am the only person in the entire world, that's right, the only person in the entire world who can actually do this. Look at that. I'm on a green screen and I'm wearing a green jumper. Oh, mwah. Doesn't that look brilliant? Chef's kiss. Here's my desk floating along here. Might have to give myself a nice little kind of made up fantasy desk there. Maybe I could make it lava. Here we have the charts open. This is GMMFE. Yeah, lots of lines on there. Difficult to see on the small time frames as I have it. As I have all that stuff cluttering up the screen. The screen. And yeah, we have the prices having gone up as high as 189 buckaroonies today. 189 buckaroonies. What's that? 189.74 the high on today. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, that's not quite 190. They've got a couple of pivot points for us to be aware of. 185 being a big one. Bearing in mind that we could see the prices drop down to 171.50. We could see the prices drop down to 171.50. Yes, it could happen. It could indeed happen. If you're curious as to, how things are getting on at the minute, that is what something that looks good looks like, typically. But at the same time, what have we got down below? Do we need to be aware of anything along the way here? What about over here in the RSI? How does that look? Well, we did come up to those highs without managing to put in any sort of bearish divergence, it looks like. Kinda. So that's good. But then there's this bit here, a little bit curious. does that mean if we take our little, if we have a little a divergence plane on the go? What if we have a divergence plane on the go? This is welcome to Flight Divergence. We're just checking in from our departure point over here on the left. We've obviously got our destination over here. Nice tailwind behind us. Should see us getting decent flight time today. And it looks like it's a nice sunny 80 degrees there at the destination. Shouldn't be too much turbulence along the way. Having a good flight so far. So let's just check in then and see how that's getting on with our pilot. So somewhere from back over here to back to over here, there's that effect. This is the 3-minute time frame though, and it doesn't really look like that's how you'd look at divergence, does it? Doesn't really, does it? So instead, what we should probably do is look up at something a little bit bigger, like the 1 hour time frame, and think about how this is all kind of panning out together. It does look pretty good overall. Now, we do want to be aware. We do want to be aware of a couple of things, I suppose. Would we have hidden bearish divergence on the go? Doesn't look like we've quite managed to put in hidden bearish divergence. That's good. So yeah, right, cool, nice. Bullish price action. Just a little bit worried in terms of if we do see a pullback coming in, if that'll go in to fill in the gap over there. So how about we just do what we've done in the past, and we'll stick a little dollar sign on there. Now we're happy enough to see that gap sit on the charts, and we're happy enough as well to have that flash. That flash that I pointed out sit on the charts for some time. We could easily see something happen. Now I want to see we could easily see something happen in the if we have any sort of consolidation above support areas that sees a different, oh gosh, putting in that dollar sign didn't really work out for clarity, did it? Anyway, it's in there now. Could see consolidation happen above a decent area of support. Will mean that of course we get that signal kind of halted for now, but of course you know it's still ongoing as it were here on the 3-minute time frame. Something to be aware of, just something to be aware of. Okay, AMC in the place to be. Whoa. Ooh. So in terms of like the attractiveness of looking up the way at the minute, whoa, there's still this, and talking about things still being active, etc. 3-minute time frame. Now this is a 3-minute time frame. Very small time frames. The very small time frames. You get 10 of them in half an hour. You get 20 of them. I had to double check my math there. You get 20 of them in 60 minutes. That's 1 hour. And you get 20 of these periods in that time. Wow. Wow. That's so many. That's so many. Yeah. So it's a small time frame. And we're seeing this bullishness so far. On this 3-minute time frame, of course, we know that there's a target up above. It's at $71. What? It would be quite an achievement to get there at any time. That kind of sums up that sentence overall. It would be an achievement to get there anytime. I put on the chart C. This is not AMC. So that entire time I've been talking about things. In fact, though, this is a really interesting chart. This is $69 at the minute. Got a couple of dollars on it. But I do feel somewhat foolish, you know, having had been fooled by my Bluetooth keyboard and gone super enthusiastic. However, this is the AMC chart, and there isn't that flash up above. And you can stop being crazy, Rocky. Well, that's the beauty of live television, isn't it? Right. So anyway, nevertheless, I'm still aiming up towards the damn $71. All right, get off my back. And currently are at $36. So 100% rise on the cards for us. Yeah, well, it's going to be a big surprise if that happens anytime soon. And there isn't a flash up above for us to look out for right there, other than ones which, of course, in the past have then faded away. Here's one where the prices needed to come down to, and we can see it had a big deal in terms of a pivot point thereafter in the markets, and that's the sort of thing that's kind of typical. Woo, moved a line there. I don't even know what that line's for. Up here towards the top side, we did have tiny little things that came in, but they went away. We went away again. We don't have the big sort of flash towards the top side to get filled in the near term future. I don't think. Going all the way back to 71 were the ones that got left off there. I doubt it. Yeah, so maybe down here just to try and see. I mean, what am I doing? When you're in a hole, stop digging is what they say. But I'm just trying to see if I can get this just try and see if I can get this theorem that I proposed by accident when I was looking at the wrong chart to hold some water here as I look up towards these $72 prices. Right, so all those flashes got dealt with. There's one, damn, it got dealt with. Yeah, so yeah, life, oh life, oh life, oh life, cheeky life. On the way with Ashford Hospitality Trust here, another one that we've been trading recently, you could say, as a community, and I'll check out EVGO in just a second. In fact, here we go, actually, feck it, let's go over to EVGO just now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That is a nice gap. That guy. Should really write to him and tell him about some stuff. Chat to him. I think he's a friendly dude. The one I was talking about, watching earlier on as well this morning myself. I think he loves what he loves, right? Is a gapper. He's a gapper. He's a gapper. There's plenty of traders out there in the world. Lots of different types of traders. One type of trader is the type of trader who, well, I mean, there's one type of trader, which is the one who buys and sells risk and understands movements in the markets and is able to exploit some form of risk analysis in order to outperform the markets themselves, right? There's that type of trader, and then there's everybody else who isn't actually a trader who kids themselves. Okay, so there's that. Now he's certainly in that first bracket along with all of us. We don't do any of that kidding ourselves on shite. But then there's also millions of different types of traders, and if you can think about traders as being a completely different entity that you maybe never knew existed before you got involved in this gig yourself, right? There is actually a huge cohort of people out there who are traders who trade really, really well, and they just chase the smell of blood in the water. Sharks floating around, sniffing out there, sniffing on their scanners for big momentum stocks, sniffing on their scanners for markets that are moving, pre-markets to put in gaps, trying to chase any momentum that might be there with it. And that's the sort of thing that they would do in the start of the day, because you kind of like want to chase that momentum where there's that early day volume, or the markets are very hot, as they call them. And then before they kind of cool down and the short interest kind of kicks in and tries to take some of that lagging, that sort of tail end enthusiasm money off the table. It's obviously always a tango that exists between each side of the market in there, you know, and of course one person can traverse from one side to the other very rapidly without any warning to anybody else. With a 4.84, you know, and pretty much 5% move on the cards in the opening sort of set part of the day, the opening range of the day, coming in there with a nice solid chunky move up, obviously having given up half of that already with pullbacks down the way. So you can see how the first few minutes of the day for a lot of people can be very, 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 very intriguing if you use these scanners and you try and chase that. Now, of course, you're going to get burned a lot whenever you put any faith in that massive circling pool of sharks that just smell some blood in the water to actually carry you all the way safely to shore if you are in a swing trade off the back of that. So you have to understand the market dynamics at any given time. Right now, of course, putting in what could potentially be a bull flag, you know, has some of the momentum in the day. Some of those people who would otherwise have perhaps backed out of the markets just waiting for something else to happen, come over here and found stocks like this, looking to try and pump them any further, leave this gap on the charts like a big old island, let the future generations deal with it. That's what it's like for these guys and girls that do that momentum trading in the morning, that first day thing. They're kind of like 1960s hot rod fuel guzzling, gas guzzling cars that back then that just ate through petrol like it was no tomorrow, literally, and didn't care about the environment. They're like those people, you know. They just leave it for the future generations to sort out what's actually going on in the markets and just put the pedal to the metal when they get the when they get the opportunity. So that's how that works, right? Oh, now hi everybody. Oh, see Harriet out there. There might be some tweaks coming in the future to my branding. There might be, but you'll notice that I've updated my branding on channel here, and logo, name, technical analysis. That's what we're all about here. Some social stuff over there on the right. My schedule, 9 a.m. EST. That's mostly the plan. Of course, that'll be really kind of the case coming next week for you guys when your clocks catch up with ours. All my schedule for the upcoming time in the future as well. Nice, easy to see. I don't know, easy to see. You can recognize these will be my for at least the next 2 weeks. These will be the daily show. The Daily Show thumbnails, all that stuff, all that branding's happening. It's very exciting times over there because, of course, now as well, there's also the ability to go over and take a look at this, which is what? The Rocky Outcrop shop, you see? Yes, the Rocky Outcrop shop, filled with numerous products which are absolutely, definitely the best thing you've ever seen in your life ever. And a big shout out to Harriet for having been absolutely fan-dabby-dozy with her design skills. She's an artiste, my friends, ladies and gents. She's a member of the audience, and she's one that's taking care of the branding for the channel as well. So big shout outs always to Harriet Jones Design, who is of course a fantastic designer. And you can see here some of the sort of the renditions of logo attempts earlier on haven't actually managed to make themselves onto t-shirts, because these are definitely and absolutely on point and on brand. So you've got beautiful stuff out here like that, and I have got my own ones on the way, and I'm looking forward to all of that. So that's good. Now you all know that exists, and you want to know what the domain name for it is? It's shop.rockyoutcrop.com. That's shop.rockyoutcrop.com. Excellent, excellent. So check out all that stuff. Look at that. HJ is dead, popping in a comment saying big love to me because I'm so lovely. That's right, I am. Here's a comment from Bad Mama Jama. That's effing awesome. And you got a comment from Chippy. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's right, that's right, that's right. The crop shop. Neat. Hey, nice one, KP. Good name for the thingamajig over there. Unfortunately, StreamYards is so slow updating my chat window that I can't get that freaking message from Harriet that came in here to appear on the screen yet. Come on, update. Come on, update. I want to put it up on the screen. Okay, maybe I won't get to do that. It's so freaking slow sometimes. Right, back over to the charts. EVGO. Who's in EVGO? Who is in EVGO? Now, there's, of course, we can jump up to 24-hour time frame, and we can talk about technical analysis that people would obviously want to know all about, and of course, sadly for them, they didn't tune in at the time on the show for that to be for them to have got in on this, perhaps, or something like that. Who knows? I know that there are certainly people in this stock, like that jiu-jitsu guy got in. Where did you get in, that jiu-jitsu guy? Something like 780. You know, there was times when that looked kind of scary, like, oh, was that the right decision or not? I think you got in about 780. Well, I mean, now that it's up at $10 and you're up 50% on your position, or well, 40% or something like that, you're probably not that sad about how things worked out. Wow, brilliant, well done, Rocky Outcrop. No need to blow smoke up my own arse though. When the smoke, the fire. Hey, no smoke without fire, and here I am. Pure raging, burning over here. Absolutely bonfire-tastic. That gap on the charts is going to be a concern for us. 3-minute time frame. What do we see here? Always nice when you're looking at stacks, or charts. If you're looking at stock charts and doing technical analysis, to use the wonderful, amazing Rocky Outcrop indicator just on the 3-minute time frame, just as a little let's have a wee glimpse here at the sort of smaller time frames. You do, after all, get 20 of these in an hour. So, I mean, great value on 3 minutes. And down there at $9.14, there is a flash for us, something to be aware of. We do, of course, tend to fill in these flashes on the charts. Right, so brilliant. Is that popped up yet? And there is a shop. Yes, there is a shop. Yes, there is a shop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at that. Rocky Outcrop, thank you. Big love, Rocky. There we go. We got it up there in the end. Excellent. Nice job, lady, says Chippy. Yes, excellent stuff. Rocky, shouldn't read my order message where Harriet can hear. Okay. Okay, Ghost of Death Money. I'll not read that out. I'll not read that out. Wait, Rocky merch. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. I'm looking forward to getting my own. I've got a t-shirt and a hoodie on the way to myself, and I'm going to be thoroughly enjoying pulling them on, hopefully in the next few days. Who knows, right? But I've ordered them already, so you can let me be your barometer. On the day you turn on the show and I'm wearing one of those outfits myself, then you'll of course know That my stuff has arrived. Well, you'll see it, won't you? Right, cool, excellent. Well, there's the TA on that one. Not going into super depth on this one, just kind of pointing out a couple of little things like the fact that if we do have this gap on here, and that if we see afternoon day shites coming in here and pushing this down the way a wee bit, then of course if we push it down and test this 50 simple moving average, which will be coming in at the edge of that gap, we don't defend the gap and then move on and kind of make this into an island, an ISLAND, island of price, then of course we could be dropping down and filling in that gap. That takes us down to 935. This little area here, 914, tasty stuff if we were to go down to it. Now for me, in terms of this, I'll of course remain very bullish on this, especially while prices remain above $9 really overall, without having taken out that 113 Fibonacci retracement if they were to drop back down to it. Yes, that's right, that is of course a brand new way of doing Fibonacci's. Brand new, that's right. You will have never seen that be done in that particular way by anybody ever in the world of technical analysis throughout the entire history of it, unless perhaps they are in a quant firm and they have these sorts of secrets worked out themselves. Of course, many quant firms around the world could be looking at my technical analysis on a daily basis and saying, geez, Rocky, stop giving away all of our secrets. Well, fuck you guys. Anyway, moving on, because fuck the high frequency traders. GME over here. Whoa, my goodness. It is got no erectile dysfunction disease on this one. It is most certainly not going to be making a doctor's appointment to discuss how it can better enjoy its love life with its loved ones. No, it is not. It's absolutely over here, definitely penetrating upwards towards that dark space as it seeks out the Voyager spacecraft somewhere out there in the deeps of space. Well done, GME. Now, can it maintain these prices? We're already up past 190. These sorts of things, having gaps down on the charts and whatnot, is kind of funny, isn't it? In the past, and leaving it on there, this 3-minute time frame, giving you almost that kind of eye bleeding headache. Let's just jump off of that for a second, so we don't have that little sort of thing on there giving us that eyesight. Are you wondering about that? You're wondering about that indicator, right? Isn't it funny one? Because you know you could be over here in the 3-minute time frame and wanting to say, oh, I'm so rip-roaringly bullish right now, which of course I am. I feel like it's great that the momentum traders out there have of course come to what have they come to today? Well, when that other guy that I was talking about doing his morning show was saying that it's just the market's fairly flat this morning at the start of November, he wasn't looking at all of the amazing stocks that I've been looking at. EVGO, AMC, GME, all of them ripping today towards the top side. Fantastic stuff. Well, yeah, anyway, so but this here does give us that little bit of kind of a reminder. Hey, caution, just be cautionary at times, but caution in the face of, you know, what is of course fantastic upwards price actions. That's really great to see. Now, do I expect to see some sort of pullback in here? It would be remiss of me to say that I wouldn't, but hey, wow, brilliant, absolutely splendiferous. That is what that is. It is definitely got the splendiferous all over it. AHT is something I wanted to take a look at before. Up here at our highs that we were at before, looking back over to the left at those highs, was it a good positive start to the day or a negative start to the day? Well, you can see here 1st November took us down a little bit at the start of the day to what, Rocky? To the 50 simple minute period. One who can speak is less entertaining than one who cannot speak but struggles nevertheless. Here we have it, and blah 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 blahs. We're at our previous highs. We did pull back a little bit today. We did test off of little thingies along the waysies and whatnot, but we've already done that on the bigger time frames here, coming back down to under the $14 price point yesterday. Boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. Green jumper on me, green on the charts, green in the chat, green everywhere. Says B-A-N-A-A. Banana, B-A-N-A-N-A-A. Fridge. Thanks so much for that, banana fridge. Yay, woohoo, says Grace Foundation. Good to see you there, pal. Scrap the schedule and put GME on the chart at Rocky Outcrop. All right, cool, let's put it on. GME. Whoa. So we're roaring and rip-roaring and having success towards the top side, and it is beautiful and lovely. What are we going to do? Shall we try and pump the squats by pumping our legs? Do we do that? Do we do that over here? How about I shuffle backwards there behind me and pop out some squats, and you can do it with me as we try and squat the price of GME towards the top side, shuffling backwards in our environment to get space. But of course, as we do that, we are also shuffling backwards along that mortal coil. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, keeping our health a bit better, staying younger for longer. Welcome to early supporter, the disembodied remains of manifest density. Ooh, it is lovely to have you here as part of us, part of the gang. Hello gang. Hello gang. Love you very much, by the way. Shout out to all my new Patreons. You're the best. Shout out to all the old Patreons. You're just as good. And also, shout out to all those future Patreons. You're going to be wonderful as well. This is the best trading community online. I'm super happy to be here. And you know what? I was watching Jackson Hunter last night. Great guy. And if Pam the Trader is in here or turns up at some point, remember, give her a nice welcome as well. I love her. She's constantly, positively, enthusiastically wonderful. And during the show last night, I gave us a little bit of chat towards the end, and Jackson Hunter gave me a shout out, and he says, check out to the audience, he's like, check out Rocky Outcrop. He's a magician on the charts, and what a lovely gentleman that he is. And he also gave me a reminder at the time to remain positive, and I felt like, yeah, you know, that's totally true. And that's the way that I feel anyway. There's always something to be learned from absolutely everybody within this community. I say that about all of the audience members as well. You know, you guys out there in the audience, you can help raise each other up. It's why I call you the rising tide. You are all the rising tide. I think particularly that maybe this particular community, the Rocky Outcrop one, could consider themselves to be like a Lido, you know, one of those outdoor filled by the ocean swimming pools, where perhaps while the tide elsewhere might rise and fall outside, that we always maintain at least a certain proportion of nice, fresh, tasty seawater in our swimming pool. That's what a Lido is, by the way, if you've ever wondered. So I feel a bit like that's what we are here, while of course the overall ape community is also part of the rising tide as well. Fantastic people out there, always something to be learned, and I really do want to embrace that positivity and just push it back out there into the world, because the more positive that we are about everybody else that's trying to do the same things as what we're trying to do, then the better the outcomes will be, guaranteed. Certain things, like for example, I talked months ago about the way that FTDs work, the way that the consolidated audit trail works, the cutoff point for the, you know, the amount of billions of dollars that your assets of your company need to be before you start reporting on the CAT system as opposed to OATs, all that stuff. We broke down the SEC report, and I talked about all these dynamics during it at the time as well. That was most recently, but for months and months and months, literally months, like maybe 5-6 months, I've been telling people all about how all this stuff works, you know, with everything, to the point where I actually thought as well that it was all out there and documented in the community, and that everybody already knew it. That's what I already thought. I thought everyone already knew it, which is why I was talking about it at such a high level. Turns out as well that the people are still catching up. And I think to myself, you know, we're on the vanguard of the vanguard. We are the bleeding edge of the knife. You know, we are right on that slippery, very, 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 very sharp front point of what's going on here in the markets. We really truly are the ones who carry that light into the darkness and push it away before anybody else. We really, 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 truly are. And then, of course, that means that we create space for people to follow along. It's not that we look back on the train tracks that we've laid behind us, resenting the traffic that's coming along. We're so super happy to be here. This is it. We're a journey that the whole entire community is on. And where it ends with is demanding and actually expecting to have things like the SEC prioritize shifting through the phases of developing this, the DTCC, sorry, and FINRA, and all of the bodies, in fact, that do oversight and management of this stuff, to push through these updates and these changes to systems that will bring better transparency. At the minute, in a lot of ways, as a retailer, we all want to have better transparency within the DTCC itself, so that we know what's going on. Currently, the only way to find certain things out about what's going on is to actually issue a subpoena, and all of that process, the due process of law, is so difficult, and so often as well, you know, the outcomes from it actually do result in further further action and lawsuits and stuff like that. I mean, there's classic big name examples like the overstock things and all the rest of it we know all about from the chitter chatter in the community. But we think, well, ultimately we want to have that transparency. But even the DTCC themselves are actually struggling at the minute to get that transparency that they themselves need and require. And there has to be a degree of sort of sympathy towards that experience. I mean, we know it massively because we're on the shit rolls downhill end of it, you know, whereas they're slightly further up on it and they still need that themselves. They don't even have it themselves. We need to smash and break the system, of course we do, to get rid of the decay, just like the dentist who has to take off a big chunk of your tooth at the top to get down to the decay underneath. But what we want to do is rebuild it back up again better than ever before. And of course, the excellent minds that are out there will slowly come into joining into the ape community themselves, you know, in one way or another. You got the wrinkle-brained apes, as they call them over here, all of us in this community, and then you've got the other ones out there just joining in, like Melissa Lee, for example, who is now suddenly as well, I feel, being part of what's overall as the ape community, definitely drinking some type of Kool-Aid, and she's going to have to do so much to catch up with all of us, because, you know, you can see in the documentaries that she makes that she herself is still at least sort of 6 months behind the story. And here we are in here watching as GME actually puts in candles which continue to get that follow through from before. So that's pretty good as we sit at 194.55 cents. We'd love to see the prices keep on going. So let's just get these squats in, right? Let's pump for squats. Let's pump for squats. Are you ready? Pam the Trader, here you are, you beautiful human being. Good luck to everybody out there who's joining us for squats. You should be able to do them, but if you're not, no shame on you. Just try and see if you can keep doing it. Just try. Traders, people, countrymen, friends, we're in this together. Whether that's squats, whether that's making money, whether that's being kind and considerate to others, we are in this together. So stand with me. Oh, forgot, I disappear. I'll leave the charts on so you can see the charts, but I want to get rid of the right. Last one. Not bad, eh? And who's this over here? Rocky Outcrop, the Imperial Mint, looking like some sort of humbug or something like that. Black trousers, green jumper. Yeah, I look fucking good. Just kidding. Right. Background removal activated. Okay, so at this stage, two areas where you'd obviously look to. Education point, I suppose, here would be for your lows. I'll just ditch everything, bend it. I'll undo it, don't worry. Whew, knackered. You got that area there, 188.56. It's actually wrong. It's 188.50, easier number. And that one just there. Those are the two obvious areas. 189.82. And then the less obvious area that might not jump out to people is, of course, from that wick down there before we cracked up the way. That was the last little bit of inflection here in the markets. That was of significant note. And you got this area just here, right? That's 191.24 for where we are right now. So seeing movements down below those areas could signal that we're going in for a bigger retrace. I'd look out for the upcoming cross is on moving averages, because there will be some in the future. So there's a 1 hour time frame, slightly different to the 30-minute time frame, and so on. So that's the sort of thing that we'll be keeping an eye out for. Obviously, right now it's too close to call on that front, but we're doing well. Okay, we're doing well. We could, of course, be cracking down. We're right at it. Another 40 cents or so, perhaps. You might start thinking to yourself, oh, a couple more dollars to go, etc. But that's where we are. Brilliant. Thanks so much for joining me on the squats. Melissa Lee doesn't get to decide what she can or cannot say, says Boris. Interesting. Who decides what Melissa Lee says? Oh, look, we're slightly below it. We have dropped another buck, haven't we? Summer day. Hey, summer day makes me feel fine, blowing through the breezes of my mind. Woo! Thanks so much, Summer Day, for that. For joining early support. Right, cool. That's that chart. Bing bong. Over here, AMC. Still wondering, I suppose, 30-minute time frame. Oh, there is a little bit of a flashy wash down there. 34.62. Nice push up the way here. Nice push up. Nice push up. Not bearishly divergent. Nice push up here on the RSI as well. Come on. Wouldn't be a Rocky Outcrop show, eh? We didn't try and change the charts without accidentally drawing on them. When will I learn? Probably never. It's part of my branding as much as that logo is, eh? Right, sound. So here we didn't have that divergence. Good, excellent. But at this point, were we to pull back down the way, I wouldn't want to see any closures down here below. I wouldn't want to see any closures below 35 bucks, to be perfectly honest with you. Wicking down and getting off that 34.50 undoes all the work of today, right, and more. Offers up the best buy price for us and leaves us probably, in terms of like the volume weighted average profile from like when we had our last thingy, just still in it around about where it'd be, you know, still averaging out the prices without having really changed anything at all. So what can we do here at this point? And what's the point in the day? Well, there's a few things. How do you do that RO flash price, says Anti-Fanatic. How do you do it? You just need to be. I mean, I fell into a big barrel of sexy intelligence as a child. So much so that it actually completely coated me from head to toe, and all of these things just completely come naturally to me. To be able to tell you how I do it is not. I'm actually, you know, in a sense, kind of. Actually, it's one of my weaknesses, is being able to actually describe how that happens, because of course it all happened to me essentially through grace, by being thrown into that magic barrel as a child. So AHT, whoops, typed in the wrong thing there, so just whoopsie. Hey Horn Hunter, looking forward to November the 19th. Goddamn, know you are. I know you are. I am. Right. Everybody else in the audience is like, what happens on November the 19th? Well, you'll find out. I tell you what, you're not only going to find out, now you're going to find out. You're going to get mind blown. Ooh, my face just fell in a jar. What happened there? Hi, Rocky. Been too long since I could watch or even chat. Here's a $5. Hey, shake your booty. Shake your booty. Yeah. Nice one. Thanks so much, as ever, Shake Your Booty, for being just an absolute legend, and for all the good vibes that you put out all the time. Cheers, man. That's fantastic. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day, by the way. Welcome to the new world of November. That's very different to the October world. October is when commodity prices dump. It's, of course, following on from that summer when, you know, it's crappy. Everybody's just selling May and F off, as the rhyme goes, and then they come back and they're like, you know what, we're back and let's just sell some more of this crap. Harvest is happening. We've got too many potatoes lying around. Price of that crap's way too high. Let's dump it. And all that sort of stuff. That all happens in October normally, and as well normally. September and that are pretty, you know, like we've had slightly different kind of months lately with the way that the stock market and stuff works. So interesting to see then that we've got through October and now we're in November. And one of the things that I did want to talk about in today's show is, of course, these two things. This is the weekly time frame up here. The weekly time frame. It's the weekly time frame. Why would you want to talk about that? Well, we just closed out a week, right? We just closed out a week. We're starting a new week. Already, we've got a bullish engulfing candle over last week on AMC, right? So the way that it works in terms of this bullish engulfing and all that crap is that you're looking here and you're seeing that the last week we were in the 36s. That's where we opened up at, and then we pushed all the way down to below 35, but ending up in the mid 35s. Which means that this week, for us to actually engulf it, given that we started off here already, you know, already kind of a bit up in the body with the nice push up that we've had so far today on Monday, that we're already well on the way towards doing that. And of course, that's a very bullish thing. And what you would see then as well, just sort of little typical sort of crap, is all we see is that there's plenty of reasons here if you were to draw in lines around and measure stuff, whether it's measurements versus your previous highs and stuff like that, or just, you know, geometric drawings and stuff. You would see there's plenty of reasons for why there might be that bullishness still in the markets. Still, right? So there's that, and that's AMC. So let's do the same thing on GME. Oh, weekly time frame. We could have like an engulfing candle. Now, we pushed up here. We didn't gap up, but we pushed up here with the results of the way that the prices went. The prices of this thing today. The prices. That's an old school posh Scottish accent. Miss Jean Brodie from Edinburgh. Well, the prices have gone towards the top. Anyway, fuck it. And we've gone up here, and and that's good. So we're well on the way to doing these really bullish things. Brilliant. Fantastic. Hey, Rocky, giving us all the good infos. Well, let's look back the way between these two here and see the start of November. November. The best month of the year, obviously. November, the best month of the year. Obviously, for reasons which do not need to be explained, but if you don't know them already, it'll be the best month of the year because this is the month where I was born and I am changing the world. That's right, I'm changing the world here. So the world was just kicking along like normal, thinking, hey, I'm a world. Other worlds would say, what are you up to? It would say, nothing much, pal. Business is normal, right? That's what was happening all the way up. Then I was born, and then it was like, hey, world, what's up? And it's like, can't talk now, busy. Got Rocky Outcrop at the minute, and all the other worlds were like, oh yeah, cool, man, totally get it, enjoy, mwah, have a good one. And our world was like, I will. And it has been. So that's why November is the best month of the year. Everybody knows this. It's well documented. And yeah, so monthly time frame, what are we seeing here? Oh, it's the same sort of thing. I'll get around to those little super chattels that came in just a second here. I'm sure they're saying beautiful things. What is the... I'm trying to see it though, just in case there's... Oh, cheers. Cheers to you, Daniel. Yeah, so this monthly time frame of the beautiful month of November is, of course, showing us that we are doing very well compared to last month. That was kind of obvious, wasn't it? AMC over here, and you know, not engulfing that yet, right? So what we need to see in terms of AMC is moving back up towards $40. And from where we are now, that's a significant push up. It's more than 10% towards the top side. So, you know, it's 10% towards the top side, thereabouts, and then we can of course start to talk about how we're doing things slightly differently. Last month, our candle did close lower than all three of these had closed before. So you'll remember that we pushed up in June, up to the $70, etc., came back down, but every time it got towards the end of the month, we're actually closing up there to close to 40. This time round, we actually closed closer to 30 than to 40. So we do want to see this start to push up the way, you know, quite a good deal, and take out those candles. That was a negative candle last month, and it followed on with obviously the previous month. And if you were to add these together and look at it on a 2 monthly scale, then, and can I get 2 months on this chart? Range. Wait, here we go. 2 months. Now this is you know, hardly day trading and dictating what's happening to us right now in the markets, is it? But add 2 months, there we go. And you can see then this has been so negative, right? So obviously we had a big push up, but so negative. But this gives us an easy opportunity to just go ahead and do the TA in terms of drawing in crap. So let's just draw in some crap. I hope I haven't forgotten to do undo and undo. Yeah, you can see tested off of the 236 in here. That's just in at $30. Didn't actually screw it. We've talked about this before, that you want to see us, if we're going to go consolidate, to be consolidating above the 236. The range over here is so large. Technical, so in a technical analysis point of view, and yes, you can use technical analysis on big time frames, just like this 2 month time frame here. You can, and yeah, and the point in the 2 month time frame, well, is to show you the same thing as what you see on the weekly time frame, but without having to have all the different candles kind of blocking up, showing you the consolidation that's come along in between. But now that you can see the consolidation, moved up, consolidated sideways, moved up, consolidated sideways, and that's the idea. So long as we stay above 236, above that $30 area, defending that gap kind of type of thing that wasn't actually a gap, boom, fantastic. And that's the broad term time frame stuff. So how have we got on other charts then, since we've just done this? Maybe we've learned something. I'm going to have to actually undo, sorry. Just need to make sure my drawings, yeah, all that crap's there. AHT over here, I'll just ditch it in the bin and go. This is the monthly 2 month time frame. 2 month time frame. Come down here and you can see that we've not taken out those lows. We've been kind of looking like it's trying to turn around. So all this process has taken a long time. And of course, we talk about this daily, and this is the process. The flakes of rust coming off of those cogs that haven't quite properly turned in that upward direction, and we're just having to wait and see as the oil gets in there and starts to lubricate the system, whether or not we'll get that key to turn around and for us to start turning up. And this is in a process which can obviously feel quite excruciating when you've only been, well, if you've not been through it before, or if you've only been through it a few times. That's of course the 2 month time frame up there. So down to the weekly time frame and seeing how we've come down here and we've kind of, you know, been kicking about in having a bit of a malaise, you know, not feeling super positive about things, but nevertheless not able to destroy those lows, even though on the weekly time frame we have come lower. We haven't, like over here in the monthly time frame, and we are looking for this turnaround. So I'm remaining bullish on this. Traceone saying, I always wanted to see Boston in the fall. That's right, New England in the fall. We'd love to see that as well. So it seems to be one of the big things to do. So that's where we are on this one. And you see, this is the feeling. I got a feeling that November is going to be more interesting than October for so many reasons, for lots of different things. Hopefully riding that positivity all the way up towards the end of November and then into December to give us that nice big setup for a nice big December rally, and then give us the positivity into 2022 to rally all the way through to about May, before then, you know, things start to go crap until around about November, December again. And here we are in November, December. As I got a feeling. Right, so yeah, there we are. Righty-o. Let's effing go. Nice one, cool. Penciling you in for fall 2022 at Traceone, and I'll bring you to Southie, and all the bar owners will love you. Ooh, what's happening in fall? Oh, in Boston. Oh, Chippy, you're in Boston, and we'll go and we'll see the thingies and all the bar owners and all that stuff. Awesome. Traceone. Brad Pitt wants to know if he's still the sexiest man alive. Brad Pitt wants to know. No, Brad Pitt's not the sexiest man alive. 5. It really, of course, is a matter of perspective. Brad, yeah, okay, you can be up there somewhere alongside Jamie and myself. Of course you can, Brad. No problem. We've got no problem. There's plenty of room on this boat, right? Plenty of room on this boat, isn't there? Plenty of room on this boat. Naked appears to be doing decent, says Amber. Amber, is that right? Naked appears to be doing decent. Ooh, wow, wow. Let's go check out Naked, right? We'll do the same thing with the toppy downy timeframes. Monthly time frame flash over there. Interesting stuff when you think about how these things are generated, what really needs to have happened beforehand for one of these to be the case. Wow, monthly flashes. You're not seeing them on all the charts that you look at. You certainly are not. Weekly time frame, well, monthly time frame, you can see here spent the last number of months in here. Range on this thing in terms of if you were just trading it up and down, 120%. So people have been taking advantage of that. Bigger potential for us. Shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline roughly. Fly towards the top side. Range, let's not be too greedy on it. Let's just say it's something like 10x there, right? So let's just say it's let's not be too greedy on it. Let's just say it takes us up to somewhere around about wherever. Anyway, massive profits any way you look at it. It's just too even the smallest failure targets on this thing are so disgustingly further up than the price is right now that that for me to talk about, you know, going up here and testing at these other things is maybe egregious. But we didn't have like, you know, we didn't break any structure or anything like that. Monthly time frame, big stuff, right? Weekly time frame, floating along here on the 50 simple moving average. In fact, you know what, where's my 20 simple? I'll just add in I don't know, not the 20 simple, just add in, well, let's put in the 18 period exponential. It really doesn't make it that massive of a difference. Let's make it so I can see it better. Make this one bright blue. So that's the 20 period exponential move, the 18 period exponential moving average on the charts here. Just want to have this on as well. They're all going to be more or less the same place. I mean, I can get the 20 period on dead easy with the Bollinger Bands. I just wanted to see, you know, how we've been interacting here, all lining up, you know, all ready for us to get that movement up the way. I feel like that's probably where we're going to go, but of course it's speculative. AF. There, yeah. So we did do a 50% retrace on it. You know, it's not like we left and we had a massive move up. You know, so it's not like we didn't really push this thing. So we've done a lot. So yeah, looking for us to see this thing go towards the top side. Naturally, of course, I want to target $68 from 68 cents, going for another 10x on this thing. Naturally, I want to. Yes, okay, that's what I want to do. It's what I plan on doing. All that good stuff. Now, this is going to take some time, and there could of course be a merger, etc., along the way, and all that sort of stuff. So Naked appears to be doing decent. Let's just jump on in here and see. The thing with Naked for me is if I trade this off, it's the spreads. The spreads are a bit of a killer on it at times, right? Aren't they? The spreads can be a bit of a killer. Oh, it really is doing decent. The 50-minute time frame showing us that so far today it's been rolling towards the top side. Wow, nice. 64 at the minute. Well, I mean, 65 is a big pivot number for us, and it doesn't take a genius to work out why. I'll just kind of draw it in here for us. This is why. You know, this is where we are recently, and this is where we were before. So if you know, you can see that, right? So that's quite obvious, which is quite nice. So obviously we're at this pivot point here for us just now. This is where we saw the markets gap up to get that momentum on for, and then slack off back down the way, fading that move away to come in ultimately for what's a higher low. I mean, the 50-minute time frame not really giving you that look, but we could see it on the monthly, etc. You know, you can see it right there. Don't need to kind of split hairs along the way. Fantastic stuff. Momentum truly with us. Can we actually push up the way here? I would love it if we could just keep going at the minute. That would be fantastic. So where have we come from? Where are we going? Let's take a look at this. Now, all those drawings in the background, all this line, do you see this tartan? This is like the tartan of the trader clan. Welcome to it. It changes every day, but you know, this is our tartan. I love that. I love tartan. Right, brilliant. Welcome, fantastic to Scotland. Right, oh, really, you know, 65, we're past it now, just as we're talking. So when we do look at this, we want to see this thing, because it will consolidate at some point. We want to see this thing being able to maintain itself above certain areas. Oh, right here, right now, this happens to have confluence. This is the area, that's it, right? 65, we've done it. So now I want to see us staying above 63, really, to be quite plain and simple about things. If we do the same analysis what we just did there up to the previous one here, you can see that we dropped back down and didn't recover that 236 immediately. You know, when we dropped back down, we were unable to recover that there. Simple stuff. Keep things nice and simple. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, right? So that's what we'll do. You can see we've got that, and it lines up with this other line. I'm not going to go investigate what that line is right now. It's me that made these freaking charts, right? Me, the man, born in November, who now has a merch shop at shop.rockyoutcrop.com, who has got 11,181 subscribers, more or less, depending on whether or not the YouTube updates and removes the bots from there, which I chuck out myself all the time, and I suppress my own subscriber list as a result proactively of doing that. You know, all that good stuff. But that's it. That's right here, right now. Why am I talking about that? I tell you what, though, I was actually going to go to the shop, right? I was going to go to the shop and get one of those small bottles of like champagne or Prosecco or whatever, or Cava, whatever, or sparkling wine, or even just lemonade, right, in the right bottle, and mix it with ready brek and have a champagne porridge breakfast to celebrate 11,101 subscribers, all the ones. I was tweeting about it at the weekend. Yes, Eric Crown, love you, by the way, buddy. Thanks so much for that support. Getting back and saying, grats, buddy. Super happy, really celebrating that. Only for the number to drop back down below 11,121. Well, there you go. There's your champagne porridge breakfast idea down the toilet. That's it. It's down the toilet. It's gone. No more champagne. Ready break. Not even proper porridge, you see. That's the idea. Ready break, champagne in a bowl, mix up. Nom, 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 nom. I'm so happy to be here. This is the best breakfast I've ever had to celebrate the thing. Well, you messed it all up. Shouldn't have unsubscribed. You would have had a good Monday. What are we doing here? What time is it? Right, cool. So we're flying, right? We've been at this for nearly an hour. We're going to be at this for nearly half an hour longer, which means that in a couple of minutes or so, in fact, 5 minutes, I'll get this dude out and I'll make it so it starts timing us. I'm going to go back here to the chat screen and check in with those and check in with those messages, those super chattels, those messages that I came in to make sure I didn't miss any and all that good stuff, because I hate doing that. And also to give a big shout out to a very special person, just in a second. First off, Daniel, thanks so much for that $5. Cheers, you said to me. Cheers to you, big ears. Thanks so much, mate. Kieran, KP92, sent 580. Green. But your show is pure solid gold, Rocky. Thanks so much. Dollar symbol there. Wonder if they're AU dollars. Probably not. Thanks so much for that, KP. Awesome, man. Green, your show is pure solid gold. So nice of you, man. I loved your piano duet. Then we also had, if I could see this properly, it would be. We can all look. We can all look. No, we can't. Stretch that out. Yeah, Disembodied Marines of Manifest Density, thanks so much for becoming a member. Shaker Booty, 684, hi Rocky, been too long since I could watch or even chat. Here's a $5 penance, thanks so much, man. And Ghost of Dan, this is the one I wanted to give the special shout out to right there now. Ghost of Dan, thanks so much, Dan Lesage. Sent me $100 before the show even started. Why? Just to be, just to show support. Just to show support. To make me feel like I'm not so bad, you know? Like I'm worth something. He did that for me to make me feel like I'm worth something. I tell you what, it worked. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. Felt worth something today, and everything felt really positive. Oh, right. So back to the charts. So what we're looking at over here, naked. That's right. What did we just see happen there now? Let's zoom on in. Well, just there a second ago. It caught my eye. We were up here. I drew in that 236. Where was it? I went, oh, yeah, bang. That's the place. Yes, it was the place. place, and then we came back down. We sank back down below this 236. Then we came back up and recovered it. Where's the prices right now? Well, as you can see, a few seconds later, and we are right there asking questions of it. Isn't that a cool picture? That's a cool picture. We understand the data that's there. We understand it, don't we? Yes, we do. Zooming back in again, so you can see we know that below that white dotted line just there, that's the 236 Fibonacci, and we know that if prices consolidate below that line, they're going to struggle, and then we know if the prices consolidate above that line, that they're going for a good chance of doing well, and we know that we're right there, right here, right now, and we know that if we were to be trading naked, which I actually currently am, and if I wasn't actually, and if I was to be doing that thing which I find to be morally repugnant, actually, to be perfectly honest, and I was trading live on screen, and I don't do anything that actually shits on my own ethics like that. What I'd have done is I'd have sold the position that I had up here, probably, and then looked at this area here and thought about at that point whether or not I'd have made whether or not that would have been you know, worth getting back into. The result of which being that I'd have got 2.78% on that move back down the way, making me more money than, with the best, thanks so much Dan and all that, than all the donations and everything else that's come back in here today. Right? More than that. Would have made me more than that. So right now, the opportunity cost of me doing this episode here, as we talked about this live, to tell you about that 2.78% potential on the table, has been more than that all those donations that have come in. Just so everybody knows and everybody's clear about it. Not resentful. Right? This isn't me being, no, this is me off the back of coming in here telling you how I wanted to buy a bottle of champagne and mix it with Ready Break to have a champagne porridge breakfast to celebrate 11,121 subscribers to the channel, because that's how much I love all y'all. And this is the type of excellent level quality technical analysis that you just do not get anywhere else, with the singular exception of TradeSpawn's channel, and of course one or two other traders out there in the world. And I'll give a big shout out in this particular moment to Eric Crown, for example, who is of course one of those dudes, right? So there you go, right? There you go. That's the opportunity cost of me doing this thing, and hopefully demonstrates to people just how much I goddamn love y'all, right? It's not me bemoaning anything at all. It's me purely showing you just how much I love you all, right? Because I do. I love you so goddamn much, right? Now, also, at the same time, I am hoping for this to keep going, right? I am hoping for this to get going. There's 2.78% left on the table there. And I'm hoping for it to keep going. Now, of course, you know, we'll all be happy just to learn the lessons. But please, when I say that these are lessons, that they're worth learning, right? Understand that I'm here doing this, making less money than I would be talking about it. That's how important these lessons mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me. So much that if you struggle to understand what it is, and you need to understand it in terms of monetary terms, that it means more than $120 to me to show you what just happened there now, right? It means more than that. That's not $120. It's $110. Well, $100-ish dollars. It's worth more than the $100-ish dollars that I've been donated today-ish to tell you that, right? By a long way. That's how valuable this information is. Way more valuable. Otherwise, I'd just gone off and taken the $110 elsewhere, right? Easier, no stress. Could have been sat here drinking coffee, you know, texting girls on my phone. Oh, nice sweatpants. Could have done that, but here I am, and we're doing this instead, right? So I took the time there to talk about that during that period of inflection, right? Just to bring it home for you so you can see just how real these lessons are. Now, it's not like anybody out there doubts that. I know you all know it. I know you all know it already. And this isn't me preaching to the choir. This is me telling you that these things I'm not pissing about. This is really fucking serious. And if you want to change your fucking life, then you just start fucking listening and start enacting these simple fucking rules that are actually quite simple to follow when you've been educated in the right way by somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about, and start proactively changing your own lives, because I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom and giving you them for free. And it means an awful lot. And you should start improving your life today. Be it doing some squats with me, be it trying to learn something, be it just being nice to the people around you, be it giving a $5 to charity. Do something today. Because this means something. It means something. It's real. It's valuable shit. It's not cheap crap. It's not, I'm better off here talking about this. It's the opposite. I'm better off not here talking about this. This is how much this means. It's real. I'm super, this is my passion, right? This is my passion. I'm sharing it with you. And you can change your lives anytime. Anytime at all. Start now. Start today. Start today. Start now. Start today. When this light goes orange, there'll be 15 minutes left in the show. When the light goes red, there will be oh my goodness, Pam, thank you so much. When the light goes red, there'll be 5 minutes left of the show, and that's when I'll do my my reverse roll call and all that stuff, right? This information, I'm not joking, okay? I'm not joking. I'm emotional and passionate about this stuff. I'm not joking. It means an awful lot to me to have the opportunity to change people's lives. I can't put a price tag on that. I can easily put a price tag on it in the sense that I can tell you it's worth more than $120, right? It's worth more than twice that, in fact, right? It's worth more than twice that in terms of the opportunity cost of that move right there, which is better for me to just give everybody just chatting about it than it is than it's worth more than that, right? I'm telling you that to me, the opportunity that I have to change lives is priceless to me. It's priceless to me, okay? Priceless. And so the value of this information is huge. And I'm okay giving it out because of the value of the impact that giving this information out has. That's why this is the quid pro quo for me, is that I know that it has a real deliberate impact on the lives of the people who receive it. One of the biggest things that you can do to change people's lives is this. I believe it. I think it's one of the biggest things I could possibly do to lead a life worth living. You look at the charts here, consolidating above the 236 as it is right now. Very good. Okay, so I just want it to be clear. Now I know everybody knows, but I'm telling you, if you're watching now and you're listening along and you think someday, maybe, it's today, yes. All right? It's not someday, maybe. It's today, yes. You can do it. I know you can. I believe in you. I wouldn't be wasting my time here if I didn't. I believe in myself. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do this. And you can do it. You can do some squats. You can be a little bit healthier. You can be nice to the people who love you. And you can learn and invest in yourself. And you should do it. You should do it now, today. Another comment came in here, and I'm not seeing it show up. It was from Pam the Trader. I think, yeah, Pam the Trader. We love you and Jamie. Why is it not showing me though? There it is. We love you and Matt, Pam. We love you. I love you, and I love Jackson Hunter. I love AMC Bigums. Last night he was chatting with him. I love everybody in this community overall. Always massively appreciated. So it's like that's where we are. Graham, I can do it. Yes, you can, right? You can. There's a bunch of reasons for it. One of the reasons is you've tuned in here, right? So you're well on the way. You're well on the way. You've cut out 99% of the noise that's out there that's going to just, send you off looking at the wrong information, etc. You've done amazing. You're going to go on in your life to be better than anything that we're talking about on this show. You're going to do, that's what's going to happen. Your trajectory is starting off so well that you're just going to go flying, right? Flying faster than I ever could. That's one of the missions I have here, is that I've learned to do this to the quality that I do it faster and better than anybody else in the world that I've met in the professional arena doing this thing. And now I'm delivering that to you. So all of yous will be better than all of them. All these people who grew up, some of them with silver spoons in their mouths, some of them being told their entire lives that they're the smartest people in their class, in their year, in their college, in their everything, smarter than all those people. People who are genuinely incredibly intelligent, but you know, you're going to do better than they are, faster than they are, and you're going to actually be able to look back in the future at times like this, where this is happening now, and be able to be even more in control of what's going on in the markets than we are, as I demonstrate almost complete control, almost absolute control on a daily basis. You're going to be even better than that starting from where you are now, man. I believe in you so much more. I'm jealous in a sense, if you like, a little bit jealous of the audience, in the sense that I wish that I'd had this when I started, which is what I started, what I set out to make, even though maybe perhaps I've gone on about myself for far too long at this stage. But I believe in you, okay? I believe in you. And actually, to everybody who thinks, screw this guy, I wish he wasn't talking about this, fuck you, I don't care. I'm just telling somebody I believe in them. So actually, if you're like, go back to the charts, Rocky, it's like, well, you know what? You need to actually just let the other people in this community start believing in themselves too, and stop being so selfish, if that's what you think right now. So big fuck you to anybody who thinks like that. And also a massive hug and love and all that crap as well. Right, so back to charts. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. That is interesting. That's interesting. Bear scrutiny. That there is interesting. Interessant, as they say with their breakfasts. You know, coming down here, pushing back up, going back down, pushing back up, coming back down, pushing back up, coming back down. Interesting. Bears the old scrutiny. So it does. God, there's far too much on here. Anyway, brilliant, loving it, fantastic highs, 196. Oh my god, we are all family. I got all my sisters and me. Hey Graham, nice one, excellent. Chippy, thanks so much for that super sticker, by the way, earlier. It's amazing. By the way, this isn't it's never an appeal for money when I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the value, like the sheer value that not everybody knows, but there will be a cascade. There will be a cascade of understanding in the world in the future as people realize what we're doing here. And when that happens will be the time when I start to step back and other people from amongst all of you take up the reins of where I've left off, right? You know, at the point this channel getting 100,000 people watching at the same time is quite unlikely whilst I'm still the host, really, overall, you know, whereas the channel will probably remain. The thing about it is that I'm teaching you with the quality that's there, and that's all that matters. And then other people will come along. It's just like, this is an opportunity for you right here, right now. And when the millions and billions of people cascade into finding out about it, they might not get the same quality that you're getting live, the opportunity that you have to talk to me live. They'll be talking to somebody else, one of my acolytes, if you like, probably. But here now, live, here I am. And this is unadulterated. Yeah, right. There was something else I needed to say there, but I forgot what it was. The longer it goes out, the more obvious this other thing, of course, this other thing that we needed to talk about. When people find out about this eventually, then as well, God, there's going to be some like. But anyway, you know, like anyway. This is it. Like these are these moments, you know. These are the ones that you tune in for, and you're like, oh wow, that's amazing. Can you imagine being part of that crowd at that time and having had access to that guy and everything? Can you imagine having had that opportunity at that time? Wow. Well, here it is. We're living it. You lit the fuse for me today, brother. Thank you, Ronaldo. Man, thank you. You light the fuse every day, Ronaldo. Man. God. Anyway, every day there's a guy out there who's putting out goodness into the world, and you know what, he's not the only one. There's so many of you out there, men and women alike, and of course everything in between. Is that even a thing? And everything on the far edges as well, and everything all around, all the things, all of them. Right, brilliant. Anyway, yeah, cool. Rocky, Jewel Maxwell, love you. How did you end up in Poland, by the way, Jewel? I mean, like, of all places. No, not. I've been to Poland, and I think it's beautiful and wonderful and a great place to be. But how did you end up in Poland? Like, seriously. Right. So, wow. Wow. I can't remember what great stuff I was drawing on here at the time. You see that face? Do you see the face? Now I don't know if everybody can necessarily see it. Their glasses were here. There's a head. There's a mouth. I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's a good Easter Island face. I'll leave that on the charts here. Right. So 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin pulled back to these two moving averages, 61,487. Yes, there will be issues out there in the world. Let's just take a quick look around at the CME chart, the coronal mass ejection chart. This is a chart put together by astrologists. Coronal mass ejection. That's what CME stands for. And funnily enough, as well, that's where a lot of my some of my very first subscribers came from there. My first 30 subscribers. I remember losing about 10 to 17 of my first 30 subscribers after having spent some time talking about, oh, it's gone red. That's that color that looks like yellow to you. It's red. Oh, no, it's yellow. It's flashing yellow. It's flashing yellow. Oh. They were tuning in because they thought I was talking about astrology and stuff like that, or astronomy. But actually, yeah, it's not the coronal mass ejection. Anyway, here we are in the coronal mass ejection chart. That's the 1 hour time frame. What have we got down below? Looking down the way here, because I saw a headline. I didn't watch Daniel's video. He said why I went short. This video, Chart Champions, Daniel, another guy that I like out there in the world. He said why I went short on Bitcoin. It was something to do with a CME gap, and I don't see it on the 1 hour time frame. So 15-minute time frame. Has he got one on here that's worth looking at? Here we have one down here, 60,975. Is he? Daniel's like a massive YOLO trader at the same time, and he encourages his audience to use extremely large leverage when they're trading, all the time. It's one of the ethical problems I have with his show. He does it on purpose in order to generate himself money. He's a bit of an ass like that. I actually love him. Good stuff, Daniel. Big love you. You know, but you know, like, we know what you're doing, right? I don't go into for that. Anyway, you could be aiming down for there. Not a massive move, you know, in terms of percentages, but it's on, right? It's on, and you're looking at 1.2 perhaps percent from where we are now. Is that worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Let me work it. Flip your ass down, shake it, and reverse it. Well, you know, if we were to push back up above 62k, as where the 236 is right now, then you're probably taking on a bit too much risk in a sense with that one. If we do actually push on down the way, then great, because that's coming in for a 618 golden pocket retrace. Not much of a surprise over there on that front. Why do I always use Fibonacci? Well, it's because it's the most powerful tool probably in and of itself. Over here, 382 Fibonacci retracement, pushing down past the 236 if we were to take it out, taking it in from, like, you know, the real low from before in terms of market structure, or in terms of elasticity. And looking up here towards that point is where we are right now. So I mean, am I bearish? Am I bullish on this one? Not really, like, either way massively. Instead, let's go looking for any sort of bigger signs. That's of course still in the CME charts. Let's just go back. Let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, in fact, and see if there's any insights over here. 43. Like, so where did we get up to in the end? Right up to there, right to my thing. I mean, look at this. Look at this, by the way. I explain everything. I can't be bothered explaining this. In fact, you can just see that the drawings that I did up here when it was on the 20th of October, when I explained this back on the 20th of October, we've now done it. Okay, we've now done it. Now, how are we looking in terms of the Ethereum chart just here? Could have a pullback to 3,829. And then let's just take a quick look over at total, and then we'll take a couple looks at some alts. Yeah, this is esoteric. I could explain this, but I'm not making this beginner level. I'll do beginner level stuff some other time. I've spent like a long time on a really advanced but super simple thing to understand that any beginner should be able to understand. And then if they thought to themselves, I don't know if I need to understand that or not, I then spent like 10 solid minutes talking about how important it is that they understand that and the value of that lesson, and attached it to monetary value things as well, just so that they would understand that it's actually a real thing to learn. So at this point, rather than overwhelming anybody, I'm just going to be esoteric so that the ones who aren't overwhelmed can follow along and everybody else can just relax. Yeah, so looking there and then looking down here to, but I spent so long talking about that, it'll probably be done by the time I'm wanting to talk about it. 2.6, Christy telling me very rightly that recently we had all-time highs on the total market cap, pulling back quite a bit since then. I don't know actually when you said it to me, man, though, to be honest with you. We pushed up not into all-time highs but to higher highs here. It might have been recently that you were saying that to me. Interesting. This push up there is going to give some dynamics to the chart. This push down here, which broke this trend line thing that I'm drawing in here, also gives you that feeling. Oh, can't have that on there. Can't have that sloping up the way either. That's totally unrealistic. Can't have a line on there. It's just a waste of time. Can at least make these sorts of assessments. 2.6 obviously important. Whoops, what did I just remove? Right. Oh, there's a flash, is there? Oh, build that straight away. Sorry. Yeah. Whoa. Actually, where's this come all the way from? I mean, I don't know how this would work. This is an interesting one because this is like an index which doesn't really exist. 284 billion. Oh my god. Right. So, what year was that? 20. Oh. Wow. Look, at some point in the future, it will be short to fun. It will be fun and profitable to short Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at some point in the future. It will be. It will be. I don't know how much faith to put in this. You know, it would be entirely faith as opposed to necessarily evidence based. Because when else are you gonna see much you know, we're talking 90%, you know, we're talking 90%. It's just that these things do happen. Interesting. Anyway, that's something to be aware. And we could have talked about that any time over the last number of years. I mean, I maybe even have mentioned it already. I'm not too sure. Last year and a half. Right. So back to here. This is done well. Divergence. Right. I don't think that the CME gap in and of itself is any reason to go short on Bitcoin unless you're purely talking intraday. However, you could obviously look beyond all of that down the way. This area, taking that out, it's clearly taking out the 236 of the movement from this low to that high. You'd be looking down towards this region over here for a sort of 50k tests if you did push on down the way. So like that would be a big deal. Bearing in mind where the 57k would be your first sort of cutoff point if you were long, for staying in longs at the minute. 57, 56, 57. No point longing it below there. You'd be better off longing it from 57 on any sort of resurgence back up to then take profit, by the way, at 60, 61. For that sort of just under 10% move. No point sticking on this one. Let's go check out one of the dullards, the dullards of recent days, and that Tezos, which has performed quite negatively, and see how we're getting on here. These things mean something to me. They don't need to mean anything to you. How are we getting on here? Right. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is until it is what it isn't. And what it was before was a downtrend that had that did have bullish divergence coming in on it. I mean, no, that didn't have bullish divergence coming in on it, and then a resurgence up here towards the moving averages that then didn't break towards the top side. So we're going to need to see some sort of technical signal coming in here to tell us that we've got positivity towards the top side to look forward to, which we currently don't. That's the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to drop down a bit though because I want to see if we've got flashes, which we do have, but they've never resulted in. They have. All right, cool. So if we go in for a high, you see, this is the issue, right? I mean, this is the issue. There's nothing that positive about this one, as we are still. I am macro aiming up towards $11 monthly time frame over here. monthly time frame. Ignore the flashes that come in from the very, very, very start of something because because the math behind it isn't there to make it so it actually functions. So this is just this is a meaningless flash. Very good on the monthly, weekly, very meaningless on the monthly as well at the minute in terms of that. Weekly, right. Oh wow, that's some messy chart that is. That's one of the messiest charts I've ever had in my life. Whilst it's still so incredibly horizontal, the different colors, I actually really like it. I'm moving on. I'm just going to leave that there. Link ChainLink USDT, Link USDT. I hope I'm not missing out on any of the chat, by the way. By the way, if anybody's wondering, up there on my screen, in fact, I can just show you here. Look, see, this is my screen. I have your chat flowing along here. So if something went wrong, like, you know, people were all at me, I can see it, you know, up there. The chat's up there, and I do try and read as much of the chat as I possibly can, always. So yeah, so like, you know, I am reading it and everything. Obviously, it's just the super chats that come in. They're the ones that catch my eye because, you know, whatever. And then as well, you know, as well, if you're wondering as well, I have my super chats and all that are available to be seen up here, and that. So I'm out of time now. So now after I've done Chainlink TA, it still looks like yellow to you. I appreciate that, but it's actually red. When I've done Chainlink TA, I'll come back. You can see it off my hand looking red now. See that? I don't know why that is. I don't understand cameras and stuff. I'm not a camera scientist, but you can see that it's red. I need to. Yeah, I've got my super chats in here, and I see them coming up, and I pay close attention to that sort of stuff. Obviously, Phil, the time is the most valuable thing. Thanks for all the time you spend helping everyone. That's what I'm talking about, man. Right? It doesn't really matter if I could have gone off and made $1,000, $10,000, $1 million with that move. It doesn't really matter because it's all just percentage changes on whatever my risk was putting into it, and I would have fully have committed to that risk in that moment, and I would have taken it, and I would have made that money, and it was a fait accompli at that point. I mean, that's besides the point. It's money in and of itself isn't valuable. It's just symbolic. It's a means of exchange. Here's something that you cannot get back once you've given it away. Time, the only thing. So I'm incredibly grateful for everybody who tunes in and spends time with me. You could be doing anything, but you're spending it here with me, as I spend my time here with you, both of which are more valuable than any number that you could put on the profits that would be made from some move. I just needed to try and find something that would, like, you know, register in people's brains who maybe think to themselves, well, how valuable is this information? And also to those out there who think, you know, well, why would this guy deserve any super chats? And for those out there who think, well, why is he here doing this if he could be off doing something else? It's like, to answer all three of those questions, it's because I'm actually not a cunt. Well, I'm Scottish. That's this video. That's my YouTube. That's a real problem that I said that. I'm Scottish. Over here, that doesn't matter. In other parts of the world, I'm sorry. Just be myself there for a second. Really shouldn't do that. Okay, moving on. Link, Chainlink USDT. So is this going to work or not? Is my keyboard done it better? You know, Link USDT. Where are we? 31.44. Brilliant. Significant pullbacks recently? Yes. $20 over there in the weekly, but I'm actually wanting to see the 24 time frame. Did we go down to 27, etc. recently as well after the moves up? Where were these? That was September's. That was still back then. This is where I'm looking for. Sorry. 27. Yes. That was when? 27th of October. Brilliant. Okay. Moving on since then. Recovered, filled in that little flash. Brilliant. No other flashes. Great. So consolidation wise, how did that work out for us? Came back down, did push underneath here, closed, came back up, pushed up above. You know, now we're back above the 236 again. You can see the significance of that kind of speaking for itself after today's episode chat today. So we're obviously in a good place to be. Bear in mind that below sort of $30 is obviously significantly less good to be. $27 was like your best buy price. That move up, that 10% up to where we've come to since then, is obviously the profit taking zone. So this is what's going to lead to this inflection, that your consolidation essentially that we're going to see here in this area until we've moved on. At this point here, what do I want to show people? Like, look at all this different TA in the past, you know. I find this fairly intelligible, easy to understand from the past stuff, you know. But whatever, most of the time I do. What would be ways of doing this? And I just want to look at this right now here, just in terms of the pushing on, right? Just in terms of pushing on for where our targets could be coming in for, and I'm looking up towards $50, and I think that that's fair, right? I think it's fair. I think it's effed up to be saying to people at $30 that something could move up, 50% or sorry, a lot could move up a lot. But here we are. This high that we've had here, the X to the A to the B, how does that line up? That's an 835. That would be, quite deep. I wasn't drawing that in to make a point. I was drawing that in for my own examination of the thing, the measurements literally of it. So X to A to B here. This is obviously, in effect, what this is doing is showing me the linear retracement points, linear as opposed to logarithmic. So I'm using the logarithmic chart, which you may or may not be able to see just beside me here on the buttons down here. So I'm on the logarithmic chart, which is better, and in my opinion, although I'm not an ideologue, and I can change whenever I want to, and frequently do and demonstrate that on the show. Now the Fibonacci retracements that I use are also drawn in logarithmically, which means rather than using the absolute values like 10, 20, 30 and working out what is the difference between those, it uses the oh, wait a minute. No, it does do that. Wait, my head went mental there. It does work out using the values, obviously, but essentially when it's drawn in here in the logarithmic chart, the scaling is to the scaling of the likewise with the scaling on the y-axis here, as opposed to being absolute values. And whereas the linear ones here that are the arithmetic ones, as used in the harmonic XTZUSDT tool, is linear, right? I don't need to break that down any more than that. So we could be looking here with this movement, if we F to the S, if we F this right up, right? If this is like really effed, then what happens is we see on the 24-hour time frame, first off, a golden cross. Enthusiasm comes into the markets, but it doesn't actually push any higher than our previous high. We or in this period of time, we simply are back down testing that area anyway. Then we're testing off of the 200 and the 50 at the cross time, and whatever happens, we still don't take out any of our market structure. Whatever happens, we still don't take out our market structure. Then we lead down the way here, obviously organic, etc. But you'd be looking down towards something around about that. That's a bit deep. Something around about that, which would be $18 again. It'd be $18 if we fail. So right now for me, then that kind of just leaves it for me is that I've got two targets, $18 or 50, just for argument's sake. 18 or 50 would be my two targets on this one, and I've got able to know inflection of $30, to no value of 27, to no profit taking after 10% moves, and relationship there at 236 fib. So I know of the Gartley harmonic, that's what that is, in the background. Which relies on prices remaining below 35, right? Just for argument's sake, right? These are some of the things that I've discussed so far here. So yes, the screen's a bit messy, blah blah blah, but those are the things I've already discussed here already. So, and that, combine all of that with all of the technical analysis I just did before, with all of the stuff with regards to the total market cap, the Bitcoin dominance chart, the Bitcoin chart itself, the way that Ethereum looks, and everything else, and also know that I want at any times to see, I'm always looking to see in the decoupling of the movements between the big players in the market like Bitcoin and Ethereum, to decouple and allow things to move separately. So of course, like, in a sense, I'm really interested right now in this chart. I'm really interested in this chart. I'm really interested in the way that this has come down to these lows. I'm really curious to see right here if this low that I'm pointing at right now has got bullish divergence on it. I'm really interested to measure where these areas are. Really interested. Why? Because I'm looking at that link dollar trade, understanding the dynamics in the market with link dollars, Bitcoin dollars, total market cap, other altcoins, Ethereum, trying to bring it all together. And now I'm looking at the link Bitcoin chart, and I wanted to see here, as I look down below, whether or not that there on the RSI constitutes bullish divergence compared to that other low that's over there. What do you think? What do you think that is? What do you think that is there? Well, you know, just as an example, you know, of the things I'm looking for. Looking forward to seeing whether or not this actually blows out the way or not. You know, looking forward to that. Will we see that ADX remain in chop or not? Looking forward to it. See up there how that just twisted around and changed around at that area on the stochastics. Really interested in that one. Why is it? Why? Wait a minute, man. Like, reset defaults. What? No. Style. Get rid of this. If you use my stochastics, by the way, you want to be opening up style, getting rid of this thingy, going over to here, go and save as default, probably. Anyway, really interested in see. Otherwise, you might as well just not be using it. Essentially, so there we go. Change that little cross that's coming in there. Really interested in that. Really interested in that. Really interested in on the 24-hour time frame, as you can see up there, or can you? I don't know. Really interested here on this 24-hour time frame as to whether or not this yellow cross here is something that gets pushed away at some point as we potentially look to going up to test off that green cross. Really interested in that. What with the yellow cross, like that yellow line, that's all those yellow crosses, that being the 50 simple moving average here, and that being the 200 moving average on the 24-hour time frame here, which is of course the daily time frame in crypto land, done in hours, which is nice. And that's up there at 60. We're at 50 at the minute, so or 55, 51 at the minute. So nice. That's a solid 20% move towards the top side just to test off of that thing. Interesting. What would a 20% increase in the ChainLink prices in dollars be when you're looking at moves versus Bitcoin? Well, that'd be a test of a 35, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a test of a 35 or so, 36 maybe even? Interesting, depending on the oscillations of Bitcoin itself. Interesting stuff. Those are the things I'd be interested in quite a bit with regards to this chart. Oh, look at this old technical analysis. Let's just check in on some old technical analysis. Here you go. You probably didn't actually subscribe to the channel here whenever I made this, but if you did, then give me a shout out in the chat right now. Were you actually watching along in March 21, on the 28th of March back then, whenever I drew this in and told everybody when the prices of ChainLink versus Bitcoin were down there at 0.0004 that the prices could be moving up to 0.0069, and then it did it? Were you there when we talked about this wedge that could drop back down the way? Were you there whenever we talked about the cross? Or did I stop talking about it by this stage? I'm not too sure. Coming in to retest that. Were you there? Anyway, that is 100% typical on this show, my friends. Here we have it, 236, therefore coming in at 50, giving us that easy to manage risk area. Why would we use the linear chart and not the logarithmic chart? Well, in this sense, right here, when we're looking at this one, we can see that there's just, you know, up here just above us, gives us that little bit of an idea about how things could push on a little bit more. We know that there's that 10% range that's pushing between these areas, and we can see that this comes in here at 54, 57, so it's that next little area up. So something to be aware of. Nothing, you know, major, but just in the sense that we've been trapped within a range and not pushing beyond them recently, and asking questions about if we're trapped within a range and not pushing beyond them, then maybe we should check in with the linear chart, shouldn't we, if we're trapped within a range and not pushing beyond it. And then how do you think the mind of Scott Carney works? How do you think the mind of Scott Carney works when he only ever uses the linear chart? And when you think about the difference between linear and logarithmic, when if you're trapped in a range and never moving beyond it, and how those things will line up. Have you ever thought about that before? Does this hand movement and swinging of my body that I'm doing at the same time as talking about being within a range and moving outside of a range and thinking about the logarithmic and linear start mean anything to you at all? If it doesn't, that's fine. If it does, then cool. Think about it. It's fun, isn't it? Right. Who cares, right? It's just a little bit of garlic for your brain nostrils. Right. So brilliant. Here we have it. We've arrived. past the time when I should have tuned out. No big flood of people asking me to look at things. Everybody seems to be pretty relaxed in the chat over there. You got people laughing with each other. I don't think anyone else in your community dislikes anyone else. That's amazing, Joe. That's brilliant. There are people in the community that dislike other people, right? There are, and there will always be. Except there will always be. There will always be, and that's to be expected. Not necessarily you dislike the person, but you dislike some of the things that that other person likes, or you can find friction between personalities. It's to be expected. But what is that there will be those differences, but but then that's fine then. So you could say that I don't expect everybody to always get along, but I do always and demand, and expect isn't even a strong enough word. I demand that everybody always makes concerted efforts to get along. And if you don't make an effort to get along and you just act like an asshole, then you're out. In which case, then there won't be anybody disliking that person long term. And I think that there's that while you can absolutely dislike somebody, you can have respect for them, you can treat them with respect, you can be respectful, and it's totally fine. So there are some people who will dislike some other people in the community. It's to be expected. It's a massive, wide, broad range of things. There's people out there in the community who will disagree with me. There are people who disagree with each other. The beautiful thing here is that we have independent minds who are able to independently think for themselves and also not judge others for doing the same thing as what they're doing, and to not put themselves above anybody else ever in terms of any opinions on anything, even including religion, which I find for the most part to be complete bollocks. But I'm never going to like do any of that, to the point where I've defended massively people's religious rights, things like that. You know, who cares? Right. Anyway, it's reverse roll call time. If you'd wanted me to do something else, you were too late. You should have got a request in earlier on. Got a lol from Tradespawn. That's good. Got a cookie face from Observe Thyself, which can mean only one thing. It means Banana Fridge made a funny, because it was at Banana Fridge. Let me see. You're all right, Citadels. Hey, y'all are right, Citadels. Good stuff. Right. Brain nachos. Yes. I only wish I was here with you guys in early 2021. Oh, there. Oh, there. Oh, there. Oh, there. Yeah, well, you know, Jamie and I, both of us put out videos talking about the $40 GME price point. I mean, we'd say $40. I say $40. I don't know what Jamie says. I say $40 because in my videos I talked about $40. Jamie should probably say $36 or something that he actually said at the time that it actually went to, where he actually got it, you know, within, like, you know, pennies in advance and told people to buy it then you missed out on that one. But I mean, so what, man? Like, what have you missed out on? Like the opportunity that of course you will because time is the most valuable thing. You can't get it back, so that's fine. You can regret that, but opportunity never stops, right? It doesn't stop for no man. It's the hardest tidal wave that you've ever faced. It's a tsunami of opportunity is approaching you, my friend. As soon as you actually are become enlightened or aware of them, or just, you know, woken up to those ideas or informed of them, or, you know, as soon as that happens, you'll almost drown in opportunity, my friend, right? So you're not going to miss out on that sense. I just got year-long Patreon for y'all, LFG. Andrew, sir, did you? Why is it not showing up? That sucks. That sucks, man. What? I specifically set up my notifications last night to definitely work for that and the other thing, the merch. So if anybody buys any merch in my shop, it should show up. Should show up on the screen. It should. And the Patreon thing should show up. Should, right? But it's not showing up in there. And whereas you've got other ones like this one here. So maybe if that could be you, Andrew Sa, but I don't think so when it's sure, why not was the last one that did it 17 hours ago. Anyway, maybe it's just a bit slow to show up the alert. Maybe it's just never going to show up the alert. Who knows? Boom, boom, boom. It didn't show up the merch one that came in earlier on either, right? So it's not like it's not anyway, whatever. Trace Button, thanks so much for tuning in as well. Let me just look up here. Chippy, I did that last year and I'm still trying to burn off that calorie, lol. Pam, you'll be burning it off really fast, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh there, Jamie, Rocky. Thanks, Rocky, for all you do. You and Jamie are the best in this whole cool community. Damn right, so cool. See that in there. Nicest people I know. Nicest people I know. I'm so grateful every day. So grateful for that. Nicest people I know. Like, I grew up in many ways, and I still do it. It's still a habit I have. People who know me very well will say that one of the biggest criticisms that you could really make of me, if you're going to critique me in a way, is that I think that other people are the same as me, right? And most people don't really do that. I think that other people have the same ability as me at everything, or better, right? That's the way that I look at things, always. And that the people are the same honorable as me. And they've got the same integrity as me, always. And it's like, when I find out that people don't, then that's whenever things obviously then stop from me or whatever. That like, oh, right, okay, so no longer can be friends with that person, etc. or whatever. But it's always a shock whenever that happens, because I expect people to have that. I grew up like the bread streak Buddha. If you've ever read that book, Baker Street, Bread Street, is it? No, Bread Street, Bread Street Buddha, right? Isn't it? The quote in the book is, "I always valued charisma over integrity." with my friendships as a young man, and that's true. As a young man, I did, which and that or whatever, in a sense, I always just figured that everybody else had that same charisma and that same integrity. So I would be attracted to the things which you can see, like charisma, and I just assume that they had the same integrity, or that they would at least come round to having that, having been with me for a while or whatever as friends. Didn't always work out that way, but for a lot of people it did. And anyway, but what I've found here is, through this community, is that that effect seems to be amplified massively in the sense that everybody that's in here has got a good deal of charisma, but they've also got a massive deal of integrity. But it's much more accurate than it was whenever I was making those assessments myself. I'm not able to do that. Whereas the community has got this self-policing thing about it, where people look out for themselves and for each other. And it's not just me making judgments of people or whatever. It's people doing that with each other and judging themselves in a positive way. And the result of it's been so far that everybody is really, really, really cool, really amazing people, the best people. And I can only assume that the people who are not good just kind of go away without even being rude on the way out the door most of the time. It's amazing, right? And all it ends up is that people are amazing, and it reaffirms my faith in humanity, that sort of faith that I had before, where I assume in a way that everybody is as nice as me, or is as intelligent as me, or is as kind as me, or is as integrity as me, as honorable as me, and because everybody is around me. Then it reaffirms that faith, even if it's completely spurious and it's made up. Who knows? Anyway. Observe Thyself, thank you so much. Trace1, thank you so much. Corey Bing Bong, thank you so much. Observe Thyself, thank you so much. Katie Babes, the Poltergeist, the correctly named, well done. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, thank you so much. That's really lovely. HJ, thank you so much as well. Graham Brecken, Rocky, why is your brother so angry? Lol, I don't know. He fell in a bucket of anger when he was a kid, just like I fell in a bucket of sexy. We can't all get what we want. Faris Al-Karashi says, thanks, that's cool that you've got that. Shukran for joining us, by the way, man. If you're from if your surname and all the rest of it is anything to go by. Bob Crotchet, thanks so much for joining us. Say hi to Davey. Hey, much appreciated, pal. Crack Croc says, I feel a spiritual kinship with this arena you brothers have made. Same goals, same feelings around shared around here, etc. Plus very good teachers. Yeah, yous all make it. I talk about this all the time. I'm a member of the community as much as I am a leader within it, so I'm so lucky to be that. It's improves my life an awful lot having you all here. So thanks so much. Thanks, Christy, for tuning in as well. Sally Mander, always appreciated. You're a wonderful person. Really are. I really do appreciate you. Rem, thank you so much. So great to see you as well. Another one of my West Coast Canadian friends. Thank you so much. You wonderful, beautiful person. Yeah. Disembodied remains of Manifest Density. Way. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're Torsten. Great name, Torsten. That's like a Norwegian name or something like that, isn't it? Torsten. Are you Norwegian or something, mate? Let me know. Torsten. Hello, Torsten. How are you today? Sorry if that accent's crap, man. I don't know. Feel free to do Scottish accents. In fact, observe thyself there, for example. Great one for doing a Scottish accent. Yeah, y'all are right. Yes, Banana Freeze. Yes, Banana Freeze. Lovely person. Oh, Shepherd of Unicorns. You unicorn shepherd, you love you for that, for having the animal on the that is our national symbol. Amber, thanks so much. Personally, I love all you lovely folks. Now I'm excited. Exciting chat. I'm going to pay attention like a good student. No need to worry anymore about that. Right, great. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Okay, and then shout out to Phil for that $7.90. Shout out to Chippy for that $9.99. Massively appreciated. Shout out to Pam the Trader for that $20. You're very kind, Pam. I really do appreciate your generosity, as well as to everybody. You know, as everybody. So I perceive. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I perceive all of these individual things to be worth the same. Okay, I perceive that to be worth the same, at least on face value. It's not like somebody's done. I think that they're worth this, like that. I appreciate it so much, and that it's a sacrifice that people make to say thank you to me, to send value back the way. So it's appreciated 100%. So like, even though I'm aware that numbers are different, both of them is appreciated 100%. So I can't, even though it's like excess capacity, I can't appreciate them any more than 100%. So I appreciate it 100%. That's how much I appreciate it, genuinely. Daniel, thank you so much, Cockroach Man. It's always appreciated. Then you've got the Cockroach, because you cannot destroy that man. He's made of steel. Kieran, thank you so much for tuning in. Shake, thank you so much for tuning in. Disembodied of Remains of Manifest Density, thanks for becoming a member. Ghost of Dan, $100 super chat. Really kind of you, my friend, and just wanted to let you know that you're valued. Really appreciated, buddy. And then that's it. Okay, thanks so much for everybody tuning in. Do remember, hit the like button on your way out. Of course, it's what we like to do around here. If you haven't done it already, share this with your friends, and I'll be back updating this with chapters later on if somebody is doing them, and if you are, very much appreciated. Thank you kindly for tuning in. Thank you so much, every single last one of you. I'm going to go off now and try and get in touch with people to try and get my internet thing sorted, get surveys done here. Have to organize with people in my building for another AGM, and there's another one happening the day after tomorrow. So many things going on here where I am exceedingly busy, and of course I think you can see as well with the general kind of stuff that's on the go on the screen right now, even, but also with my branding and marketing and stuff like that I'm trying to do stuff as well. Really do appreciate it. I'll be checking in with Basecamp though as well soon, very soon, to make sure that that you know that I'm still busy too, because I want you to know that we're all doing this together. And then also to the likes of Ben and Katie, who wanted to have a chat about the curriculum type stuff, and I kind of effed it up last week when I took control of the meeting, which we shouldn't have done. Happy to have another one of those with you. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we need to figure out time zone stuff as well and all that stuff. So appreciated. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Oh, last thing, I'm going to stick this week with sticking with my time. Okay, so my time is going to be the same for my starting. So shut up, ambulance. Shut up, ambulance. My start time is going to be correct. It's just that my time zone is wrong. Okay, I'm going to stay consistent. So I'll be starting this week, and it's a good experiment. We've had the likes of Sal suggest in the past that maybe I start my show after the markets have opened, and that's what I'm doing this week for this week, through the convenience of the mismatch in time zones. So I'll start my show at 2 p.m., which is equivalent of starting at 3 p.m. previously for me, my time. Okie dokie, thank you so much. I'm going to stick with that. So there's an experiment this week. Some people understand it, everybody else is irrelevant. That's all good. Okay, tune intros, all that. Going to read all these messages from people saying, or all these messages from people saying cheerio and all the rest of it at the end of the show when I go back and read through the chat, as I like to do from time to time. I'll see you again next time tomorrow, 2 p.m. my time, which is of course 10 a.m. EST. I am scheduled to be live 9 a.m. EST, and that is my usual time, but the time zone mismatch means that it'll be 10 a.m. for this week. Much love. And if I didn't say it already, I love yous all very much. Like button, appreciated. Sharing, appreciated. https://patreon.com/RockyOutcrop if you want access to the Discord and all the rest of that good stuff. And I'll see you back again tomorrow. See you then.